Welcome back to No Risk, No Farm, everybody. My name is Leo Risk, and I would like to invite you today to join me when we build a rabbit cage. We had a couple people interested in this, and we figured, okay, why not building a new one and just showing step by step how it goes and how we do that. Okay, come along and join me. Before we dive into it, let me quickly show you the necessary tools. You will need a tape measure, a marker, protection glasses when you grind, of course the grinder, and then J-clip pliers, and the J-clips itself. You will see the details how to use them a little bit later. Then some just regular pliers, and you will need some thicker wire for the lock, or for the hook that holds the door in place. I will show you all the details a bit later. When we started to build cages, we knew that we will need quite a few, and that's why we made this contraption. It contains basically a table and then a space here with a bar to hold the roll in place. So from here we feed the roll through a little thing here that holds everything in place when we cut it. It has a little pin here on the end. So as soon as we have determined the size of what we need, then we just hold it like this, so that we can securely grind the particular piece. Okay, the cage we are going to be building is 36 inches wide, 30 inches deep, and 18 inches high. To build the cage, we use two different types of meshed wire. For the top and the sides, it is a 2 by 1 inch wire mesh, galvanized. This is a 14 gauge wire mesh. I wouldn't go thinner than that. And for the bottom, we use also galvanized wired mesh. It is 1 inch by half an inch. In this case, I have a 12 gauge wire. If you can get a 10 gauge wire, that would be even better. Don't use a bigger spacing, because that might hurt the rabbit's feet. This one is perfect because the manure can easily go through it, and they have enough surface to actually walk on it without being injured. Okay, we want to start with the sides. We need 4 of those, and what we do is basically we pull it off the roll, and then here we have a mark where we measured it to make it easier and don't have to measure each time. So this is for the sides, and here is the cutting line, so where we have to cut. So now I'm fastening it here in place and start cutting it. So now the first side is cut, and I just want to give you some details here on this step. When unrolling the wired mesh, make sure you unroll it this way, not this way. So this will make your life easier while cutting. You can lean against this wire here, and it will not slip off as easy. And another detail here, when we started building cages, we always cut the leftovers here. That was a big mess because we had to pick up each single little piece here. Now we cut it just one cell further here, and then we have basically one long piece and can easily take care of it. And now that all 4 sides are cut, we will put away 2 of them. They stay the same length. That will be the front and the back. And 2 of them need to be shortened to 30 inches from 36. That's what we are doing next. Now that the sides are cut, I prepared everything for the top. Here is the next marker for the top. It's 30 inches by 36 inches. Now we'll go ahead and cut it. Now that the top and the sides are cut, we need to switch the roll to the 1 inch by ½ inch wire for the bottom. That's what we will do right now. This roll is 30 inches wide, so we cut 36 inches in length. I have a marker here for the bottom as well. So I just pulled it till this marker, and then can go to my cutting line here and cut it straight off. It is a little bit more stiff because it's a 12 gauge wire, so it's not as flexible as the sides and the top was. Now that everything is cut, we will start the assembly. How I do it, usually I have the bottom on the table. Pay attention to have the smaller spacing on the top, so that gives the rabbets a little bit more of surface. And then I just straighten the bottom a little bit. And how I usually do it, I attach each corner of the sides first. But before we start that, I would like to show you how these J-clips work. So I have this plier, it has this special shape, and there I put the J-clip in. And as soon as I press the pliers together, it wraps around basically the 2 parts and connects them solid. That's what's left behind then. You will see it in a second here. So how I do it, I start here from the corner. Like this. First corner is connected. Now I move on to the next one. Like this. Okay, now we have the first connection. And then I pull the whole thing to the edge. Now it's hanging down here, the side. And it gives me a little bit more space to work. And the spacing I'm using is I do not every other opening, but every third opening. So I did the first, I left 2 open, and then the next one I'll put the J-clip in again. 2 open, next one. So that gives a pretty solid connection, and it's very sturdy. Now I'm repeating the same process for the other side. Okay, so the front and back is basically the same process, but make sure that on the front side you have the horizontal wires to the outside. I will explain a bit later why. Okay, so they stay outside. Now all 4 sides are connected to the bottom, and we will flip up the sides and connect them here in the corners. And yeah, the cage slowly starts to show its shape. There is also a different design out there, where all 4 sides are basically one piece, and each corner is just bent. I prefer this design because the corners are way more sturdy and actually pretty rigid. Now that the sides are all connected, I will attach the top. To help holding it up a little bit, I always use a piece of scrap wood here, and then attach the corners first, and then basically do the same process like with the corners. Start here, do the corners first, like this, and then go to the other side and repeat the process over there. Like this. And then you can already pull out this piece and it stays in place. Yeah, now I will basically continue and do all the J-clips and yeah, show you the rest of the assembly. Now that the cage is assembled, we will cut out the door. The door itself is 12-inch high and 16-inch wide. So what I do to help me while cutting, I use the marker and basically mark each spot where I have to cut. So what I do is usually I leave 3 of those cells intact here on the bottom, and 3 on top, and 3 on the side. That gives me enough room for the drinker later on. Okay, so I marked everything where I have to cut, and yeah, let's do that. Don't throw away this cutout. It will be used later on for the hay feeder. I will show you how we do that next in one of the next steps. I had the door here from previous cage builds, so I will just use that one. The door is 18 by 16 inches, and the hole was 12 by 16, so it overlaps quite good. So we use the same clips for the door. Here I think is the best to have it hinged a little bit on top of this wire, so that it actually leans on the first clip here. Like this. And then I do the very bottom one, and yeah, also the center pieces. So this gives the door lots of support, and because we have the feeder here, and yeah, there will be a little bit of weight on the door. Now we have the door hinged, and it opens quite nicely. So to add a little bit more tension on the door, you can always bend it a little bit back and forth, so that you have a good tight opening and the rabbits stay in there. The next step is to cut out the openings for the hay feeder so that the rabbits have access to the hay from the inside. I will do a little bit different pattern here than I did before, because I figured as soon as I have the opening too big, the small rabbits, when I separate them from the moms, they try to escape through the feeder. It's actually funny. I had some interesting stories about that, and me trying to catch the bunnies inside the barn. So I will leave always one of those horizontal pieces in here, but it will give them overall more access to the hay. So I mark them here. I will cut out those 2. This one will stay. Those 2 I will cut out. This one will stay, and so on. Remember, I told you to make sure that you have the horizontal wires on the outside. Here's the reason why. The hay feeder is basically going here, and as you can imagine, when the rabbits eat the hay from the inside, and I have this little sharp edges here, it would potentially hurt them, but having them outside helps to prevent that. So now we are just removing these horizontal pieces here real quick, and then I'll explain you how to install the hay feeder here. It helps to bend those pieces back a little bit, and then you can grab it a little bit better with the pliers. Yeah, I hope this will help. That the small bunnies, when they are in this cage, that they can't escape as easy, but still have enough access to the hay. Here we have the cutout from the door. I will remove all those pieces here. But on the one side I will leave it. That will actually help holding the bottom of the hay feeder. Okay, let's remove that quickly. This is how it looks like when it's all cut. And now I will bend it to have kind of a rounded shape a little bit. And how I'm doing it is to have the vertical pieces inside. That helps so that the hay doesn't get stuck as easy here. And it's a little bit smoother than from the inside. Just realized that I did a small mistake here, and I was supposed to have 3 of those vertical wires exposed, but now I fixed it quickly here off camera, and I'll take out those pieces as well, and then we can move on and install the feeder. It's not a big deal, but yeah, sometimes happens. Yeah, this is how the feeder could look like. And then you basically put it in front of this opening and secure it with the J-clips. I'm usually starting at the top, so that gives you a nice alignment here. I usually do 3 per side. That's good enough, because there's not much tension here. All right, last one. Now we have to prepare the bottom. Remember, we had those cutoffs here from those shorter sides that we cut off. So we use these to prepare the bottom. What I do is basically I put it here on the side, and I will cut it here. It's, I think, 7 openings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 actually. Okay, I will cut it off quickly and then go from there. This is a piece I cut for the bottom, and now I'll go ahead and attach it here. Like this on the sides. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just holding the hay in place. And now you see here the little pieces that stick out that I actually use for support for the bottom, and I don't have to clip it there on that side. I'm just bending it back like this. And now I will cut off all the leftovers here, and yeah, have a nice bottom for the hay feeder. Now I will show you how I do the latch for the door. I'm using an 8 gauge wire. You can use also maybe a smaller one like a 10 gauge or something, but yeah, the 8 gauge is pretty sturdy, and I'm happy with that. So take your pliers and bend it like this, pretty sharp. That will be the front tip of the latch. And then go ahead a little bit further and bend it like this. So you have basically the rounding where you will hold on to, and from here make a almost 90 degree bend this way, and then a little bit further bend it down like this. So now I will cut it off, or maybe just snip it off here. Yeah. And install it with the J clips as well. Yeah. Find a perfect spot for it, like here or maybe here. I think I'll go here and install it there. Like this. I'm always using the full space here, and put in as many clips as possible to support the latch and make it a little bit more sturdy. So 4 should be enough here, and then I put also 3 or 4 here. This is a pretty easy, or should say simple design, but very sturdy and even adjustable if needed. You can always adjust the tension on the door, and in case the rabbits press against the door or something, yeah, this way you can basically latch it already here, like this, easy. If you feel like you have to move too far in to latch it or to close it, yeah, you can just remove a little bit on the tip here, and then it's easier. Yeah, this is the latch. Remember we had this. Remember we had these cut-offs in between the sides when we cut it off the roll. So I took one of those, and now I'm removing those little pieces here, and I will use this wire to make a bracket for the drinker. If you have gravity-fed, let's say, system for your rabbits, or planning to have it, then you will not need that. And but yeah, in this case, for now I'm using bottles, so that's why I think this is very helpful. So what I do here is basically I also bend the corners, and I'm putting it in like this, in between the vertical wires here, and then I'm bringing it down to the bottom ones here, or lower to the 2 lower ones here, and then I'm bending it back like this. I will tell you why in a minute or in a second. So this helps to keep it in position. If you would only attach it here, it will always flip back and forth. But this helps to have it in position, and you can easily remove the bottles from the bottom, put them in, and turn the nipples towards the cage. The last step is to make the cutout for this type of feeder. I made some marks here already, and yeah, we'll cut it out and install the feeder quickly. Okay, now we will quickly install the feeder in the opening, clip it in place. That's how it looks like. This is how you would use the bottle here. Basically slide it in from the bottom and put it in place like this, so you don't have to mess around with any other stuff here. Usually the little pieces that come with the bottle, they are not holding up very long, so I figured this is a better solution. Yeah, this is the cage built, and I will put some details in the description, like sizes and stuff, and so that you can look it up. This works for me, and if you find it helpful and appreciate that type of content, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. And I would love to see you next time. God bless.